Señora Presidenta.
Madam Chairperson, good afternoon. Distinguished Rapporteur, members of the Permanent Forum, brothers and sisters. At this time, I represent 33 affected communities affected by the Tixol hydroelectric plant. And I will therefore read out this declaration owing to serious violations of individual and collective rights in 33 communities affected by the hydroelectric plant, the Guatemalan government, the IDB, and the World Bank. The Tixol hydroelectric plant in Guatemala is an act of genocide. It has turned a symbol of mega projects in order to achieve high profits economically and not for the benefit of the communities. In 1975 to 1983, with the financial support of international banks such as the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, and other private banks, the government of Guatemala built the Tixol hydroelectric plant. It was built during the bloodiest period in our country's history. The financing banks knew of all the outrages that were taking place against the communities, but they continue granting loans so that the project could be completed. The Rio Negro community was the one who opposed leaving their lands the most. The government of Guatemala then took advantage of the time of repression to qualify those communities as internal enemies, and therefore the National Army and other security forces killed 444 brothers and sisters, most of them children and women. The building of the plant affected more than 11,000 people in 33 communities, which lost their land, their housing, their crops, their community organizations, their sacred sites, their natural resources. Today, these families are living in an inhuman situation in extreme poverty, and the government of Guatemala or the IDB or the World Bank show concern over the situation. Despite the many requests by the communities for them to alleviate the damage caused. In September 2004, a negotiation was undertaken between the government of Guatemala and the communities. As a result, a reparations plan was adopted to compensate for damage to the communities. Unfortunately, 3 years have gone by since the end of the negotiations, and the government has not implemented the reparations plan. The World Bank and the IDB have shown the same position. They have evaded their responsibilities, despite the fact that the report identifying damages negotiated in 2009 and then the reparations plan, there they recognize their violations against the communities. It is urgent for the World Bank and the IDB, given their complicity with the government of Guatemala, to finance the total cost of the reparations plan agreed to at the negotiating table in favor of the communities. We also launch an urgent appeal to the Special Rapporteur, to the members of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous issues, so that through their good offices they may publicly state this case and bring it before the relevant authorities so that the government of Guatemala, the World Bank, and the IDB be punished, and we guarantee that this will not happen again in other communities. No more genocides in our country. Thank you.